Welcome back to Technique Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about how to lead a crossover break in Rumba.
And before we get started, I'm sure you noticed our awesome t-shirts. This is the first of many designs in our Ballroom feed shop, which I'll link down below for you. This one is Ballroom Dance and Nutrition Facts, so go check it out. It's a very fun t-shirt, and it's an excellent way to rep your ballroom dancer inside out, basically, and show it off. Also, it supports us, so it'd mean a ton if you check that out. All right, let's get right in.
Cool. So crossover break in Rumba, the same as Cha-Cha and other dances, where we go into this, and this is the position we're trying to hit, and then comfortably move out of, right? So how I lead this successfully, let's say we go from a boxing and Rumba, and we do half this box, we take the extra side step, right, where I start to lower my hand through, and you can see the change of my hand position. It was up here, and I started to make this small circle of my hand. I opened it up, made a circle to my left so that my palm could rotate underneath in hers, and then I end up here with my palm facing mostly up and hers facing down. And then now I'm still actually in a dance position here, trying to hold this as long as I can before we go and open up and rotate into this position. So just those things so far. Looking at my hand positions, I do have this half a box. As I start to move into the last side step, I drop this hand and bring it underneath, and I maintain this frame as long as possible. What can happen here if you open up too soon is you still will probably be successful if I start to release here and already open up, but we might take a forward walking step into this crossover, and ideally, best case scenario, especially if you're trying to look and feel a bit more sharp going into this, that you take a full side step, you finish the weight change on this side step, then you get to go rotate together and move into this rock step in the crossover position. So
since you're probably learning this for your wedding dance, your position might be a lot more casual. So if that were the case, it's all the same. If we show you actually going away from you so you can see this hand change better, we're gonna demonstrate it that way as well. He's still gonna go underneath and change the hand, and we're still gonna try to take that side step for dramatic effect. And also it's easier to have control over your follower and just leading and following in general.
Still gonna bring this hand underneath. I'm still holding on, even if it's like her lower back, because it's more casual. And if you just see each other until the last final point before you open up, that will keep you obviously facing each other, right? So you can see here that I look at her, we see each other all the way through the side step, and then we both open up and rotate together to move into the crossover. So even if it's like from the most casual point of a wedding to a competitive Rumba, eye contact and seeing each other in position is always a good idea, right? So now if we get into that position fully, we both open up and do this forward rock here. I'm trying to keep this pretty low and comfortable. Trying to keep it pretty low and comfortable so I don't kind of like throw ourselves out here and pull her off her feet or have some kind of crazy position. So
and this just looks like T-Rex arms.
This looks funny, right? So in its most competitive state, we have arm styling, we have these things here, but even in a more casual state, this doesn't really change no matter what, you know? So we transition to this again. Let's see how the side step, we both rotate through. This hand's pretty low, my elbow's still bent here, even as I transfer backwards and then rotate back through towards each other, stays pretty consistent, drops pretty low towards the hip, bent elbow, and we can practice going in and out of this position a few times. Exactly these foot positions going side, rotate forward, back, rotate side, and then this hand just stays down in between us the whole time. I can practice over and over again, moving my body through this position, not trying to push and send her through, trying to make it more obvious. Trust me, she knows that we're going in this direction, and now it's in a more comfortable place. And let's say I want to go to the other side, right? So I did one crossover on this side. As we come back towards the other direction, our hands meet here in the middle, and we're just quite literally holding two hands in the middle. I would suggest that there is a moment during the side step where you have both hands, that you don't let go of one before you go and take the other one and have to try to meet each other into the next side. That you did kind of establish a position here facing each other, and then you rotate the same as you would coming through and facing each other again. So if I practice this over and over again, doing a lot of crossovers, there's always this moment in the middle where we see each other taking the side step, where I have both hands looking and feeling more comfortable. Exactly, cool. And then you can get out of this with the basic, with an underarm turn, whichever you choose to use, and then you get to move out of it, right? So leading into this crossover position, clear directions with the arm, clear directions of where you're looking and where you're stepping, and staying pretty relaxed and low, more around hip height so nothing crazy happens with the hands.
So the one last thing we have to talk about is just the extra side step and how to lead that. So basically, if we go from this direction here, he's going to encourage me to keep going sideways instead of coming forwards towards him, which is I normally would do in a box step. How does he do that, you ask? Chris, do you want to talk about it?
So we should be able to both close our feet here with decent balance, and she shouldn't be falling right into the next step already, right? That I'm now gonna push off of my left foot here and move my body to the side. You can think about this in a few different directions, right? I'm moving my body first as well. I close my feet, my body keeps moving in this direction. So I'm gonna maintain this position on my right side the entire time, so we still have a pretty good frame and she can feel me. Her hand should be, one of the options is to be in the front of the shoulder, right? So if she doesn't feel me go backwards, she doesn't have any space to come forwards because the hand's here in the front of the shoulder. She shouldn't try to run me over, ideally. If you're having trouble with this, you're trying to lead and follow this, and she doesn't understand when you want to take the side step and always walks forward right into you, I would practice closing the feet and pausing, and then making a decision, whether it's the side step, going from a basic again, pausing when you close the feet, and then continue with the box. That every time you close, there's a little bit of a pause here, so she's kind of waiting and feels balanced, and then you can make a change, because every time you close your feet is an opportunity to change which pattern you want to go into next.
One little bit easier beginner-friendly tip is to start changing the hand sooner. So when he goes forward and to the side, he already starts changing the hand. That way I have another almost like easier cue if you're not so advanced that we're doing the crossovers. And that's gonna be more for your beginners, and I would recommend to start with that than try to worry so much about everything else in the beginning, especially if you're doing this for your wedding dance, then that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Absolutely.
So I hope this little Technique Tuesday helped you out. Don't forget to check out the t-shirts, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.